Hello, here we have to solve a quadratic equation of 3x squared plus 5 is equal to negative 6x. Let's solve this equation by using quadratic formula, which is x is equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac out of 2a. This applies to the equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. As with any quadratic equation, the first thing we need to do is solve for 0. So let's begin by adding 6x to both sides of this equation. Negative 6x plus 6x would add up to 0 on the right. Now on the left we will have 3x squared plus 5 plus 6x. You do not need to rewrite this if you know that b is next to the x value. If you don't, it's always a good idea to rewrite this in decreasing order of the exponents and have 3x squared plus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. If you were thinking about factoring this, 3 times 5 is 15. There is no way of having two factors of 15 add up to 6. So for the purposes of using our formula, a is equal to 3, b is equal to 6, and c is equal to 5. And we have x is equal to negative b, and b is 6, plus or minus square root of b squared, b is 6, minus 4 times a times c, a is 3, c is 5, out of 2 times a, and a is 3. This gives us x is equal to negative 6 plus or minus square root of 6 to the second is 36, minus 4 times 3 times 5 is 60, out of 2 times 3 is 6. This will give us x is equal to negative 6 plus or minus square root 36 minus 60 gives us negative 24 out of 6. Let's simplify square root of negative 24 a little bit. This is equal to square root of 24 times square root of negative 1, which gives us square root of 24 times square root of negative 1 is I. So square root of 24i. 24 can be broken down into 4 times 6. The biggest perfect square that goes into 24 is 4. So we have square root of 4 times square root of 6, I. And this gives us square root of 2 to the second times square root of 6, I. Square root and the second power cancel. So we get 2 square root of 6, I. So x is equal to negative 6 plus or minus 2 square root of 6, I out of 6. Let's factor 2 from the numerator and we get x is equal to 2 times negative 6 divided by 2 gives us negative 3 plus or minus 2 square root of 6i divided by 2 gives us just square root of 6i left over out of 6. On this step we can reduce 2 and 6 by 2. And we get x is equal to 2 and 2 cancel into 1, so we have negative 3 plus or minus square root of 6i out of 3. So this is our solution. If you need to have two separate values for x, the solution set is negative 3 minus square root of 6i out of 3. And negative 3 plus square root of 6i out of 3. That's all.